Hi, welcome back to Growth Catalyst Hub. And today is day 27 of the 30-day journey that we are taking on the YouTube course of Turbocharge Your Career. On day 27 today, we are going to look at how your body language matters and how do you ensure that you enforce a very positive body language in your interview. That's what we're going to look at. If you look at the body language, from the time that you walk into the interview or from the time that you log into the online interview, the way you come across, the way you speak, there are lots of things that your body does, your face does, your expressions do, your hand gestures do, that you may not even be aware of. A lot of these are subconscious and we do it automatically. Even when we are on phone, we use our hand gesture because that's how we are used to talking. That's how we express. That's how we emphasize. So a lot of these cues, which we may not even be aware of, ensure that either we get a positive impression or we get a negative impression. So how do you ensure positive reinforcement using your body language? That's what we are going to look at in today's session. Let's dive in. Number one, start with a very strong first impression. First impressions matter. First impression is the best impression, as the saying goes. And how do you make that first great impression? When you walk into the room of interview, start with a very firm handshake with a smile and an erect body posture. Don't slump, don't walk timidly, and don't do a loose handshake. These are all signs that you are not necessarily confident, not really confident. So avoid them and instead do the right thing, which is a very firm hand gesture and very, very firm handshake and very erect body, walking confidently, smile on the face. Do that when you walk in. If you're doing an online interview, which is becoming very, very prevalent these days, check out the camera position. Is your face completely visible? And many times it's very tempting to look at your face or other people's faces when you talk. Natural. But try to talk as much as possible looking into the camera. Camera is unfortunately, if you're using laptop or if you're using a personal computer, the camera is mounted on top of the computer, or if it is a laptop, it is there just above the screen, which is a little painful because then you tend to look into the image like how I'm looking at myself now instead of looking into the camera, which is when the eye contact will happen. In the regular interview, physical interview, making eye contact is easy, and ensure that you make eye contact. I missed that saying. That's very, very important to us, along with firm handshake and smile and erect body posture, making eye contact. Don't answer like this. What's your name? Yes, sir. My name is Visvanathan. Not like that. Look at them. Talk to them, looking into the eyes. And in online interview, that becomes a little difficult because the camera is mounted on top. But as far as possible, try to look into the camera and answer. That would really help you in terms of making that first impression. Second thing is your hand gestures. Too much of gesticulation like this is very distracting. Whether it is in-person interview or online interview, too much of gesticulation, too much of energy flowing in, and therefore you don't know what to do with your hands. Sometimes, people take a pen and twiddle, just go on doing something with that. Sometimes, they just bite their nails. Sometimes they scratch their hands. Sometimes, they do this. Sometimes they do this. All of this are signs of nervous energy flowing in, and you don't know how to handle that energy. And many, many times you may not even be aware of you doing any of this, but people on the other side of the table are extremely aware of this, and they may be very, very distracted. So have a friend, have a mock interview along with a friend, tape and film the whole thing. It's easy with mobile cameras these days, and watch back as to when, for what kind of questions are you becoming nervous? Are you nervous throughout the interview? What kind of a hand gesture that you're doing? Is there any hand gestures or any gestures like biting the nail and so on that you need to cut down, like twiddling your thumb or twiddling the pen and so on and so forth? Is any of this happening? And Therefore, what you need to do, tape it, film it, tell yourself that I'm not going to do this if you're doing any of this in the interview. Practice some mock sessions with your friend. That's the only way to control yourself. The final tip that I can give you is one of the psychological hacks that people normally use is mirroring what the interviewers do. A lot more effective when there is only one interviewer, a little less effective when there are 3-4 people. What is mirroring? And it's a lot more effective in in-person interviews, a lot less effective when you are doing online interviews, because it's very difficult to even see the person's hands and legs and gestures fully. But to whatever extent, mirroring is a good idea. What is mirroring? It's to repeat and mirror what the interviewer is doing. For example, if the interviewer is leaning forward like this, you also subtly lean forward. Basically, when you coordinate your movements to that of what the interviewer is doing, that is called mirroring. And it psychologically enforces to the interviewer that you are following him and you are in sync with him. And being in sync with others boosts one's positive image of the other person. That's basically what is happening. And even in normal conversations, you can see that when two friends are caring for each other, they respect each other, love each other, and they have a conversation, unconsciously, these friends end up mirroring each other. It happens automatically. And when you start mirroring the other person feels as if she is talking with a friend, because friends typically mirror. And when the mirroring happens, the brain sends a signal that, oh, you are talking to a friend. That's the unconscious learning that we have taken over a period of time. And that is why mirroring is such a powerful hack to use in interviews. Don't overuse it. If there are 3-4 people, don't try to mirror everybody. You will go crazy. They will go crazy. Use it subtly. Use it so that you coordinate your movements and repeat the energy which is there in the room. If somebody is leaning forward, you also lean forward. Somebody is sitting erect, you also sit erect. That mirroring would help you also to put together a lot of positive postures during the interview, which would help you. To summarize what we have seen in this episode so far, 1, start with a very strong first impression. When you walk into the room, stand upright, don't slouch, show confidence, have a firm handshake, and go in with a smile on your face. Number 2, have a eye contact. Don't look down and answer whenever you are answering. Don't look somewhere else and answer whenever you are answering. Those are all very negative body signals, body language signals, which tell the other person as if you have something to hide or you are not confident, or both of this. Eye contact becomes even more important, especially when you are doing online interview, because there's nothing else. You are not in person. Your face is the only medium by which people understand how confident you are. It's important to look at the people. I make eye contact, see the camera and speak rather than see yourself or other people when you speak. The other thing, control your energy. Don't make wild gesticulations, especially when you are doing in-person interviews. It's important to control your energies, channelize it so that your energy levels are controlled and you are not coming across as nervous. A lot of people bite their nails, twiddle their thumbs, twiddle their pen, and so on and so forth. And you need a lot of practice to cut down on all of this. The last one, try to mirror, especially in the in-person interviews, try to mirror what the interviewer does. If there are more interviewers, 2-3 people, mirroring becomes difficult. But if there is only one interviewer, easy to mirror. If he's leaning forward, lean forward. If he's staying back, you can also stay back. Some of these mirroring sends a signal that you are very, very interested in what the person is doing, and unconscious signal the brain as if they are talking to their close friends. Good luck for your interview. Hope you liked this session. Like it, subscribe to the channel. We will see you in the next session.